Hello, today we're going to do lesson 3-9. What a warm-up we have today. We've got a mental math and like 3 warm-up problems, so let's get warmed up. It says name 2 pairs of supplementary angles. Supplementary angles are angles that add up to 180 degrees. So one pair of these would be angle BEC and angle, let's see, that's this angle, and this angle. Those 2 angles together form this straight line, so they're supplementary. So angle BEC and angle CED, those 2 angles. Another pair would be on the other side, BEA and angle AED. Those 2 angles also make a straight line. Now, those aren't the only 2 that you could have picked out. You could have picked out this one and this one, or this one and this one. They would also be supplementary. Those are just the 2 I'm gonna say. Now, vertical angles we have not learned about yet, but I'm going to tell you right now that they're angles that are across from each other, okay? So, for example, angle BEC and angle AED, they are vertical angles, okay? They're across from each other, this angle and this angle. Another example I'll put in blue would be angle DEC and angle BEA. They're across from each other. They are vertical angles. So angle DEC and angle BEA. Okay, so there is your answers to the mental math. The next warm-up problem says find the equation of a line that passes through the point 3, -1 and is perpendicular to y equals -1/3 x plus 1. The slope here is -1/3. So the opposite reciprocal slope would be 3/1 positive, or simplified just 3. Okay. So using my point slope form, which is this, remember, I'm going to plug 3 in for m, and then I'm going to plug these in for x1 and y1. So that's y1, by the way. So it'll be y minus -1 equals 3 times the quantity x minus 3. Okay? Now, when you subtract a negative, that's the same as adding. So this turns out, I'm going to draw a little separation here. So this turns out to be y plus 1 equals 3x minus 9. Subtract 1 from both sides, you get y equals 3x minus 10. We're done. Okay, moving on to the next warm-up. It says use the figure to the right to answer the following questions. Given that MN is perpendicular to AB, recall this symbol means perpendicular, that means 90 degrees. Find x if angle MNB is equal to 5x minus 10. Okay, I'm going to label that. It's always a good idea to label your pictures, remember. Well, since that angle equals 90, we have the equation 5x minus 10 equals 90. Add 10 to both sides, you're going to get 5x equals 100. Divide by 5, 100 divided by 5 equals 20. And since that's all it wanted you to find was what x equals, we're done. If you want to check your work, you can plug it back in. You should get 90 when you plug it back in. And if you did that, you would find that you would. It says let n be the midpoint of AB. That means this is the same length as this. That's what those tick marks mean when I put those there. It means they're the same length. It says AN is 5y minus 4, and B is 2y plus 5. Now, it doesn't actually say the directions, but I'm assuming, oh, actually it does. It says find AB. That's what it says. Well, we know that since that's the midpoint, that those 2 things are actually equal. So 5y minus 4 must equal 2y plus 5 because n is the midpoint. Okay. If I add 4 to both sides, we're going to get 5y equals 2y plus 9. Now I subtract 2y from both sides. We're going to get, coming up here, 3y equals 9. Divide by 3, you're going to get y equals 3. That's not what it's asking, though. It actually asks for the length of AB. So I need to plug this in. So I'm going to plug it into this one, but keep in mind, you should get the same answer regardless of which one you plug it into because they are equal. So I'm going to plug it in there. You're going to get 2 times 3. Thank you so much. 2 times 3 plus 5 equals 6 plus 5, which turns out to be 11. So each side is 11. So you have 11 over here and 11 over there. Let me write this in red so that it at least has some kind of, looks different at least a little bit. So there's 11 here and 11 there. Both of these are 11. That means the whole thing is 22. 11 plus 11 is 22. There's your final answer. We're finally done being warmed up. Finally warmed up, I guess is how you would say that. So we're going to learn lesson 3.9, the perpendicular bisector. And the essential question of the day is, what are perpendicular bisectors? Well, it cuts a segment in half at a 90-degree angle. That's what a perpendicular bisector is. Bisector means it gets cut in half. Perpendicular means it's at a 90-degree angle. So here's what they look like. It says let CD be a perpendicular bisector. That means those are the same length, those tick marks there, to segment AB. It says what is the measure of angle COB? Since it's perpendicular, it's 90 degrees. What two line segments are equal? Since it's a bisector, AO is congruent to or equal to OB. I guess technically at this point I haven't taught you this symbol, so let's write it this way. AO, the length of AO equals OB. Let's write it that way. Okay. Next it says, let line CD be a perpendicular bisector. Okay, the perpendicular part is marked already. The bisector part isn't, so I'm going to put that in. Find AB if AM equals 10x minus 8 and MB equals 5x plus 32. Make sure to label your picture. That's always such a good idea. So since this is a bisector, this is the same length as this. So that means 10x minus 8 actually is equal to 5x plus 32. We subtract 5x from both sides, you'll get 5x minus 8 equals 32. Add 8 to both sides, you're going to get 5x equals 40. Divide by 5 on both sides, you're going to get x equals 8. Is that what they're asking? No, they want us to find AB. So I need to take this x and plug it in. I plug 8 in right there. I get 5 times 8 plus 32 is equal to 40 plus 32, which is equal to 72. But that's still not the answer because that's only half of the distance. This is 72 from here to here. That means this is also 72, and the entire distance AB would be equal to 72 times 2, which is 144. Final answer. Okay, next it says solve for x. Well, okay, in this picture right here, let me separate this, and I'm going to put it in blue so there's no confusion about which problem I'm working on. Okay, so this is a corresponding angle to this, which we will discuss corresponding angles in more detail when we get to lesson 3-4, which I will be teaching in person. But this corresponds to this. So this is x plus 140. They're equal, they're congruent, okay? This is what you call a straight line. And straight lines add up to 180 degrees. So that means if I took x plus 140 and added it to 3x, just taking these angles and adding them, that should equal 180. Combining like terms, we get 4x plus 140 equals 180. Subtract 140 from both sides. I'm going to take it, where do I have some space? Over here I have some space. You're going to get 4x equals 40. Divide by 4, and you end up with x equals 10. There you have it. We have solved for x. It's 10. Now it says draw two line segments that are perpendicular but don't bisect each other. Okay, here's a segment. It is perpendicular to this segment, but look, this segment is not being bisected. And neither is this one, as a matter of fact. Okay, 90-degree angle, but they're not being cut in half. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope you have another great day. Goodbye.